Hey everyone, Andrew back again and welcome to another music update, and this one is for all you thrash fans out there because apart from a couple of albums, this is entirely thrash metal, so let's get into it. Okay, so first up we have the Testament Live at Fillmore reissue, Digipack reissue with really nice artwork. I'm not overly familiar with this live album, but I'm currently in the process of picking as much Testament stuff up as I can, so I'm looking forward to giving this a listen, and this makes a great addition to my Testament collection. The next lot of albums are from a band that I've been really obsessed with lately. In terms of thrash, these guys are pretty much all I've been listening to over the past weekend and a bit. And that is Municipal Waste. So I already own their album from last year, Slime and Punishment, and I finally picked up a few more albums. So we have Hazardous Mutation, and these guys are just absolutely killer crossover thrash. The Art of Partying, Massive Aggressive, and my favourite album from them, The Fatal Feast. So besides their debut album, I have all their albums now, which is awesome. Okay, and the last portion of this video is a Nerve Gas order that I recently placed online. Nerve Gas are an Australian heavy metal independent online music store, and they kind of focus more on the extreme side of metal, so death, thrash and speed. They have a really good selection of both CD and vinyl. They also have a pretty good range of horror soundtracks, which I may actually have to look into for future orders. I've ordered from them before. They're really good. Their shipping's pretty decent. The shipping's fast, really well packaged, and yeah, I was super stoked for this order because 3 albums in particular are albums I've been wanting for a while, and they're harder to get, especially over here in Australia. And that's kind of the good thing about Nerve Gas as well, because they stock a lot of stuff that a lot of other Australian music retailers don't stock. So, and they also stock a lot of reissues, which is pretty handy. So yeah, I will be leaving a link to their website in the description box below, especially for you local Aussie guys. If you're into metal, definitely check them out. Anyway, enough on that, let's get on to what I picked up. So the first item is a cassette tape, which is pretty cool, and it is a soundtrack, and that is Halloween 3. I'm not really a big fan of this movie, but in terms of the soundtrack it's pretty awesome. And I already own the Halloween 2 soundtrack on cassette, which I actually also ordered from Nerve Gas, so this will make a nice addition next to that. This is what the tape looks like, it's just white. So that's pretty neat. And this is the other non-thrash album, and that is Evil Invaders. These guys are awesome. They're a speed metal band from Belgium, and this is their album from last year, Feed Me Violence. If I had this album in my collection last year, this definitely would have made my top 10 list. Absolutely amazing. If you've never heard of these guys, and especially if you are a fan of guitar musicianship, this album is right up your alley. The riffs and guitar solos are just absolutely mind-blowing. So absolutely fantastic stuff right here. Evil Invaders, Feed Me Violence. Now getting back onto thrash. So the next 2 albums are from a modern thrash band that I've known about for a while, but I've only really recently started listening to their stuff, and they're absolutely awesome, so I definitely intend to pretty much pick up everything they've put out. But for now I picked up Toxic Holocaust's Conquer and Command. Really good album. And their most recent, well, not so recent, but it's their latest album they've put out from 2013, Chemistry of Consciousness. So hopefully a new Toxic Holocaust album is in the works and comes out soon, because these guys are absolutely awesome. So if you've never heard of these guys and you're into modern thrash, highly recommend checking them out. And I've kind of saved the best albums to last, or at least the albums that I'm most excited for. These 3 albums were the main reason I placed the order with Nerve Gas. I've been listening to these guys online for quite a while now. They're an absolutely killer Canadian thrash band, and I'm sure anyone that's into Canadian thrash already knows about Razor. So these are the Relapse Records reissues. They're really, really nice. If you guys are familiar with the Death reissues, they're basically the same as that. They come in these little cardboard slip sleeves, which is pretty awesome. So this is their album Violent Restitution, which is great. Then I also picked up Shotgun Justice, and lastly Open Hostility. So they have released 4 albums before these 3, which I definitely would like to pick up. I've been listening to these guys a lot online, and a lot of their albums, especially the earlier ones, are kind of harder to pick up, especially over here in Australia. But for now, these 3 albums will do. I'm just happy to finally own physical copies of some of Razor's albums. So yeah, if you've never heard of these guys and you're into 80s thrash, definitely check them out because they are a killer band. Okay, so that does it for another music update. Let me know what you think of the albums that I've added into the collection. I hope you've enjoyed the video, and thank you for watching.